Could MANOWAR's Kings of Metal 2014 be even less effort? I say yes. Cast them down! Hail, Metal Nation! This is Podcast Them Down. It is we, Tim, Matt, and Doug. And today, after you hit subscribe and force your friends to listen and force them to subscribe and join the Patreon, we are going to talk about MANOWAR's Blood of the Kings. So you may remember this from the album Kings of Metal. What are you okay, Matt?
I'm fine. Keep on going.
Okay. It is the closing track from you're waking me up.
Sorry. I did that thing where you see yourself on camera, and then I just couldn't get out of it. So thank you for getting me out of it. So you're talking about the Kings of Metal, the 4 Metal Kings?
Yeah, so all right, Blood of the King. Now, so I said it's the 9th track or the last track. It is the 9th track because I don't depending on what version you have, Pleasure Slave, you know.
Tim, on which magic circle was this released?
This was on Kings of Metal in 1988. Okay. This song, so it's the album closer. Either way you look at it, and it's one of those songs where they mention all of their old songs, right? And it's a MANOWAR song, also for the MANOWAR fans. This is like, you know, this is if you listen to this, it's a thank you to the fans, and it's lots of like, oh, I understand that reference because I love MANOWAR. That's what this
I feel like you've said the same thing 3 different ways.
Well, so did they.
Okay.
So they say, sing with us the battle hymns, first album. Into Glory Ride, second album. Hail to England, third album. The Sign of the Hammers Our Guide, fourth album. Forever We're Fighting the World, side by side, fifth album. So, and then they are the Kings of Metal. So they say, on a crusade the world, we bring 4 Kings of Metal, 4 Metal Kings.
4 Metal Kings.
Right. So the end of the chorus has always bugged me. Till the blood on your sword is the blood of a king. So are they, who? If they're the Metal Kings, who exactly is being conquered?
Or
non-metal kings? Or
I always assumed
could be like a blood oath.
No, I always assumed that they were fighting everyone until there was no one left to fight but themselves. Like they would fight the world, right? And then everyone had been defeated except for they themselves. And so whoever was standing, who was left to be slain, was one of the 4 Metal Kings, from my understanding.
Okay. Well, we talked about this last year during March MANOWAR Madness, but if you remember, the cover has various flags. So he's standing on a pile of rocks, right? And upon this pile of rocks is the flags of, I guess, the countries they have defeated.
Or at least in the original version you're talking about, right?
Yeah, the original. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. So
okay.
And the closest thing to a standing flag is the US's flag, followed by Germany's, followed by, what is that? The Netherlands?
Netherlands.
And then they got Belgium and France and Italy, or possibly Mexico, the UK, Switzerland, Sweden. Now, those are interesting flags to be on here because in the next verse of the song, they name check all the countries where the MANOWARriors are. And here are those countries. Our armies in England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Our brothers in Belgium, Holland, and France will not fail. Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Italy, Switzerland, Austria, back to the glory of Germany, and then the crowd. Okay, so, and then, you know, the song goes on. They name check a bunch of their songs down the death tone on our March for Revenge. Now, the death tone, is that not a motorcycle?
I thought it was.
Yeah. Hear me coming. Can't you hear my death tone? Yeah. So I guess they're riding motorcycles, but they clearly had to get off to climb the mountain of rocks while they're slaying kings, right?
Riding on two wheels, chains hooked onto my heels. Yeah, it's clearly a fucking...
Yep.
So it's not a literal march for revenge.
No, I don't. Gotta ride on my death tone.
Yep. All right. So then they spill the blood of my enemies. The oath of a friend. What is the oath about? Because I don't think it's about friends. Is it? So then they fight the Holy War for the Crown and the Ring. So that's interesting because the Crown and the Ring is on this album. So they've now name checked this album twice. the one this song is on. Then they say 6 magic circles were made by the blood of the kings. And we realized in preparation for this episode that the magic circles, this is a revelations. The magic circles are the albums. This is the 6th album. I just blew your fucking mind. Okay. So anyway, fantastic song. I love how it ends for the entire third of it. The last third of it is the ending. Now, for some dumbass reason, they decided in 2014 they're going to re-record the whole album.
Yep.
Now, this is the 2nd album they've re-recorded. They re-recorded all of Battle Hymns, and they did more or less a note-for-note re-recording. I say more or less because, they couldn't get Orson Welles because he's a little bit dead. One may argue he was a little bit dead when he recorded the original one, so they got Christopher Lee to come in and do the narration. They made Battle Hymn longer. They slowed it down. I think they tuned that album down because they're all older, especially Eric Adams. Because remember, MANOWAR has been spending every album after the first one trying to make you forget how old they are.
Yeah.
Because there are songs on the first album about fighting in Vietnam. So,
yep.
They're like, oh, let's never reference that again. So
when our fathers fought in Vietnam.
Yeah. Oh, grandpa.
That was our grandfather's war.
So for some reason, when they re-recorded Kings of Metal, they mixed up the track list and changed some of the names, and it's very aggravating. So it opens, the re-recording opens with Hail and Kill instead of Wheels of Fire. Then it goes on to Kings of Metal, Heart of Steel, then oddly A Warrior's Prayer, which they renamed, and then The Blood of the Kings. So the perfect album closer song that spends a third of itself ending, they have put in the middle of the album.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the tracks, Kingdom Come, which they have renamed to Thy Kingdom Come, Sting of the Bumblebee, which used to be right after Heart of Steel, Thy Crown and Thy Ring. I feel so stupid just saying it. And then On Wheels of Fire. Okay, so they changed everything. Annoying. But worse, they changed The Blood of the Kings. Okay, and here's where I want to get to the point of this. Oh, and the new cover has none of the flags are tattered and on the ground. They're all standing-ish. So they wrote a new verse because I guess they slighted some countries by omission from the earlier ones. So the new extra verse goes, and the warriors from Russia, Slovenia, Hungary, Brazil, Czech Republic, North Ireland, Greece and Romania, Hail and Kill, Turkey, Chile, Bulgaria, Estonia, and USA. Argentina, Japan, Portugal, Lithuania, Canada, Spain, Israel, and Poland fight for medal. It started off okay, and then just falls off the rails and breaks the rhyme scheme, breaks the meter, and doesn't make any sense. And it has bugged me since the day I got it. So, I've been looking at this, trying to figure out why they put some of these countries in. So North Ireland, they did a shout out to England, Scotland, and Wales, and just Ireland. And this was in 88 when they wrote that first one. So I'm going to have to ask you, when did that whole thing blow up? And don't say the last 400 years.
Well, it unblew up in 98.
Yeah, I mean, but there was a Northern Ireland since 1916.
It's clear they forgot that there are 4 countries that comprise the United Kingdom, and that they're going back to fix it. I bet it doesn't have to do with the Ireland troubles per se.
I mean, even still, they didn't get it right. It's not Northern Ireland. They said North Ireland, which is not a place. That's not anywhere. I mean,
geographically,
but North Ireland would be that part of the Irish Republic that's directly under Northern Ireland, wouldn't it? I mean, it's not the constituent country of the United Kingdom.
Everything about this verse is just so awkward to me. The other verse kind of groups things together. They say Belgium, Holland, and France. Those are all pretty close to each other. Why they didn't say Netherlands? And they didn't fix that either, by the way.
Yeah. Do they have a bunch of Frisian fans who are upset? I'm not fucking Hollander.
But now they're jumping all over the fucking place with Turkey, Chile, Bulgaria, Estonia, and USA. And that sounds awkward to me too. Who says USA?
Well, certainly not someone from the USA.
Right. These guys, by the way, MANOWAR, if you weren't aware, they say they're from New York. Technically true. They are from Auburn, New York, which is between Syracuse, New York, and Rochester, New York. There is fucking nothing between Syracuse, New York, and Rochester, New York. It is desolate. There's a nature preserve, but not a particularly majestic one. There's the road that eventually goes to the Mott's applesauce factory and the former HQ of Xerox. There's nothing there, is my point. So,
and you know what? This being 4th of July weekend, I just want to say that, you know what? We don't need to be thanked. That's something you can do with other countries, but
I don't know when this is airing, but it won't.
Well, 4th of July weekend. And you know what? I know Doug agrees with me. The United States, by acknowledging us, you're diminishing us. Yeah, our presence is there and doesn't need to be said. We're there.
Yeah, we're there, baby. It was exempted. There was no reason to address that.
Okay. I mean, I can understand all these other countries I'm Uruguay. Why didn't you say hi to your fans in Uruguay? But you know who didn't have that feeling? Fucking American fans. Because goddamn right. With it, that's calling out countries is something that you do to other countries that need to be pumped up and reified.
And they have to name 75 different cities, and then we'd all be splitting. Baltimore, Cleveland. The most conspicuous thing missing from this list would be Ukraine.
Yeah, I was
second largest country in Europe.
I was gonna ask if you thought anything was missing.
I just checked. They played Ukraine in 2019.
Okay, well that's
and wrote a song that appeared or hailed to Kyiv.
Oh no!
Why would they? Haven't they suffered enough? They don't need a new MANOWAR song to make things worse.
Technically, they hadn't suffered yet. I mean, that was the beginning of kind of a spiral. It was 2019.
Oh, they didn't write there's a post, Hail to Ukraine.
Oh, okay.
And they played Kyiv in 2019.
What's odd is they call out Lithuania and Estonia, but not Latvia. Why?
That's weird too.
And they do Slovenia, but I don't think they do Slovakia.
Huh. Do they mention Croatia?
They do not.
Yep. It's very strange.
Okay, so, but again...
And I'm with you. I wish these were in geographic order.
At least in the same neighborhood. But then, not only geographically confusing, but from a meter perspective, from the rhyme scheme, they just shit all over it. They say Argentina, Japan, Portugal, Lithuania, Canada, Spain, Israel, and Poland fight for metal.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Doesn't work at all. And it baffles me how they wrote this down and said, yes, that's good. And then everyone in the room says, I agree. And then they kept it on the album. Like, you could have tried just a little harder. There was zero effort.
I think the real situation was they had a list, and Joey's like, "Don't worry, I got all the countries down. I got them." And then just went to sing. They just went to sing, and they were like, "There's a back." It's like, "Oh, there's stuff on the back." And so then, rather than like fuck up the recording session, they're just like, "And Spain, fight for metal. Good night."
Okay,
you know.
So. Since we spent May complaining, or at least the second half of May complaining with all the terrible new Iron Maiden albums, I wanted to give back to the world. I wanted to add some positivity. So I put less effort than MANOWAR did in to fix this. And I put that little amount of effort into ChatGPT. Rewrite the verse here, the extra verse. So I gave it the original verse and I said rewrite it with these countries. All right.
Okay.
And the results are mixed. So we're gonna fine tune it on the air. We're gonna get the official verse that they should use, and we should write it down and send it to that shithole known as Auburn, New York. And we will we'll see if they re-record it again after another 24 years. Okay.
So this is your pitch for Kings of Metal XX. Wait, MMXIV.
Okay, so the first version it came up with doesn't start off well, unfortunately.
Okay.
Our armies in Russia, Slovenia, and Hungary prevail. With brothers in Brazil, Czech Republic, and North Ireland, they'll never fail. Greece, Romania, and Turkey stand tall. Chile, Bulgaria, and Estonia answer the call. See, it already works. Way better than MANOWAR's did. In the USA, Argentina, and Japan we fight. Portugal, Lithuania, and Canada unite. Spain, Israel, and Poland join the glorious fray. It's a little awkward.
Okay, that's not as bad as the flummoxing though.
Together we march, forever we'll stay. And that's ChatGPT's first crack at it.
That's not bad,
I
actually.
know, we could stop there, but I feel like we can try a couple more times and see if we can get a better result.
Okay.
So, would you like me to just regenerate the result, or do you want me to add the additional missing countries?
Okay, well, I think we definitely need to add Ukraine in there. And I'm also a little concerned. I don't know how to ask the computer to do this, but I'm a little concerned because some of the countries that it had uniting have united historically for disturbing reasons.
It's added subtext to
Yeah,
this that's a little uncomfortable.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I think we can just tell it to.
Take out the subtext.
Okay, so do it again, but add Ukraine. What else am I adding? Latvia.
Friesland, and Latvia.
Spell Friesland.
F-R-I-E-S. It's like Friesland.
Oh, why didn't you just say Friesland? Was there anything else? There was Croatia.
And correct Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Northern Ireland.
And it should mention the countries of the United Kingdom together.
Okay.
With Northern Ireland.
Also, add Angola so there's at least one African country.
Where can you look up where MANOWAR has played in Africa?
MANOWAR plays in Africa. Arctic Circle.
Oh yeah, they did that.
Yeah.
That they actually did a behind the scenes video for that, and it's interesting because
Israel.
Well, I don't want to create lies here. I mean,
okay. Oh, so it has to be somewhere where they've played.
MANOWAR should. Well, we're assuming they played Latvia and Friesland and Croatia, and we did verify Ukraine.
Okay, if they've played in the Netherlands, they have to have played in Friesland too,
or Friesland.
Friesland. How do I even find?
Or as
this?
the British call it, Chipsland.
Ecuador, Chile, Turkey, Germany, Sweden, Portugal, Greece, Mexico. Is Mexico in there?
Mexico is not in there, and they released a DVD from Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico's got to be there. Czechia in there?
Well, they call it Czech Republic.
Oh, okay, all right, that's fair. Belarus.
Yes.
Oh, fuck those guys! They played the Palladium in Riga, Latvia, Feb 2016.
There we go.
Norway.
They didn't go to. Anywhere in Africa. There's got to be Man of Warriors in Africa.
I'm going
South
Tokyo.
Africa, one would think.
Yeah, like any of them.
They have a lot of shows in Russia,
like perhaps Morocco,
Romania.
Gaddafi never invited him over.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. Well, they were going to take the blood of the king, so.
Wait, where's Tilburg?
Tilburg. That sounds familiar. I'm sure it's already listed.
It's in the Netherlands.
I was going to replace Czech Republic with Czechia.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what they prefer.
Yeah. Chia. Okay. Oh, if I could spell it.
Oh, there's another province of the Netherlands, North Brabant.
Yeah. Well, I think we should keep it at the province level.
Okay. All right.
Because they specifically said Holland. So North. Spell that?
Like a Brabant. North Brabant.
Got it. Okay.
And the computer needs to know if it needs to add another verse. That's okay.
Okay.
Try
another verse if possible, if necessary.
Worcester, Mass.
No.
I trust you. Period.
Denmark.
All right. So I'm adding Ukraine, Latvia, Friesland, North Brabant, Croatia, Belarus, and Mexico. Replace North Ireland with Northern Ireland. Replace Czech Republic with Czechia. Add another verse if necessary. Do I want to tell it not to unite any specific countries, or do you just want to try this and see what happens?
Well, it should. It needs to be sensitive to political subtext or context of 2023.
Avoid political subtext of 2023.
Or any country that fought for the Axis should not be grouped together in an action.
Do not group together any countries. that fought for that were part of the Axis powers. Okay, let's see what happens.
Because
this is
if
a
it's
lot we're
Smith's-
throwing at it.
Italy, Germany, Romania, getting down to business. Fuck you. Fuck you, computer.
All
I
right.
feel like South America probably, we're going to go with this, but I feel like South America is not well represented yet.
Oh my God. Okay. This is amazing because it took the Axis power thing and ran with it.
Uh-oh.
It also has a note at the bottom. Due to the constraints of poetic structure, it's not possible to accommodate all of the additional countries in a single verse. All right,
Okay, but
here we
that's
go.
all right.
Our armies in Russia,
Well, okay.
Slovenia and Hungary prevail, with brothers in Brazil, Czechia, and Northern Ireland. They'll never fail. Greece, Romania, and Turkey stand tall. Chile, Bulgaria, and Estonia answer the call. In the USA, Argentina, and Japan we fight. Portugal, Lithuania, and Canada unite. Spain, Israel, and Poland join the glorious fray. Together we march, forever we'll stay. Ukraine, Latvia, and Friesland now arise. North Brabant, which I feel like I'm not saying. Croatia and Belarus with valor in their eyes. Mexico joins our ranks, a force to be reckoned. No Axis hang on. No Axis powers among us, our unity unbroken. In this global alliance, we stand side by side for freedom and justice with honor as our guide. All right, so I'm gonna say do it again, but mix up the countries and do not mention the Axis powers.
No. That's fine. That's fine. Don't tell it not to do that. Say, do not associate Russia with armies.
Do it again, but mix up the countries and do not associate Russia with armies.
Well, you maybe just suggest to it that Russia doesn't have to be the first country.
Yeah, Russia.
But let it make the decision.
Okay, Russia should not be first. Russia should be in the second half of the lyrics.
Put Russia in the second half of the lyrics and treat Belarus like Russia's little brother. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Our armies in Brazil, Czechia, Northern Ireland prevail.
Nice.
Greece, Romania, and Turkey, they will never fail. Chile, Bulgaria, and Estonia answer the call.
Okay.
Portugal, Lithuania, and Canada standing tall. Spain, Israel, and Poland join the glorious fray. Ukraine, Latvia, and Friesland, we march on this day. North Brabant, Croatia, and Mexico stand as one. Hang on, I'm sorry. Belarus, Russia's little brother, to the rising sun. In this global alliance, our strength we shall display. Japan, Argentina, and USA lead the way. Portugal, Lithuania, and Canada side by side. They got called out twice. With Greece, Romania, and Turkey will never hide. Okay.
I mean, I think ChatGPT has put more thought into it than MANOWAR at this point. If they name a couple of countries multiple times, whatever.
Can you ask it to add a lyric apologizing to any country that was left out?
Oh, I like it. Do it again, but do not call Belarus.
No, that's
you want
fine.
But
I like that. Okay. Do not repeat
leave
country
Russia
names
out, though. It just references it in the context of it's.
Right, exactly.
But I like that. I think that's appropriate, Doug.
Yeah, that's true.
What was the other thing?
Do it again, but add a lyric apologizing to any country that got left out.
Add a line.
Apology, the right word, though.
Acknowledging.
Acknowledging any country.
It's a manly acknowledgement, though.
Yeah. Okay. Add a lyric unapologetically acknowledging.
Acknowledging
any country that was left out.
Right.
And leaving open the possibility for future revisions.
Country that was left out, and leave open the possibility of future revisions. Okay, if I could spell possibility correctly, then all right, here we go.
This is going to be amazing.
I feel like we should make it change up the the words. Because it does prevail, never fail again.
But I mean, it still has to basically follow the structure.
Okay. Oh, this works pretty well. All right. Our armies in Brazil, Czechia, and Northern Ireland prevail. Greece, Romania, and Turkey, they will never fail. Chile, Bulgaria, and Estonia answer the call. Portugal, Lithuania, and Canada standing tall. Spain, Israel, and Poland join the glorious fray. Ukraine, Latvia, and Friesland, we march on this day. North Brabant, Croatia, and Mexico stand as one. Belarus, Russia's little brother, to the rising sun. Japan, Argentina, and USA lead the way. And to any country left unacknowledged, we say, we honor your spirit, your strength, and your might. In future revisions, we'll make it right. For the bond of nations grows stronger each day. Together, united, we'll find the way. I think we've done it.
Holy shit.
I think we've done it. All right.
Holy shit.
Print this out and let's drive it up to fucking Auburn right now.
Send Joey DeMaio a certified letter.
That's right.
Wow.
I need a sign upon receipt. Definitely. All right. I think that wraps it up. We've solved a problem in the world.
I would just like to send everyone out and doing some research for this episode and finding out what countries they visited. I went on our Power Metal, and 9 years ago, there was a post that says, the digital release of MANOWAR's Kings of Metal, MMXIV. Why does nobody seem to be talking about it? And the first response is from a gentleman named Nyarlathottim, who says, because I want a CD, not a download, and when it comes out, I don't want to pay $25 for it. I still don't have Lord of Steel for that reason.
It's amazing. I am remarkably consistent.
I know. And 9 years ago.
By the way, I did not pay $25 for Lord of Steel. I bought it used. Yep, and I don't want to download. This is great. I'm very proud of myself right now. And you know what? I'm proud of our new AI overlords because
me too.
We have solved a MANOWAR of mine. There we go.
A MANOWAR.
Okay, so until next time, Metal Nation, if you have lyrics that we need to fix for you, send them our way. Contact, I guess. No, contact at podcastthemdown.com. Until next time, keep MANOWAR mentioning countries, I guess. Cast them down!
If you don't think MANOWAR is going to become a new repeating segment on this podcast, you are dead wrong.
We're going to fix everything.